Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 525 of NoDQ&A video. Thank you guys for checking out today's NoDQ&A video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. In case you missed it, make sure you check out episode number 524 on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend about NoDQ&A video if you enjoyed today's video. With that all out of the way, let's get down to your questions from spring.me/AaronRiff. This will be an extended edition, as I do every 25 videos. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started with the first one from the Naked Ninja. Hey Aaron, what did you think about the tag titles being held by rivals, like when John Cena held with Batista and Shawn Michaels? I think it's a good thing. I do prefer traditional tag teams when you have the two team members look alike. I'm not really a big fan of when two random guys are put together to form a tag team, although sometimes it's nice to have the diversity. So it's all about having the good balance. As far as when you have two random people holding the tag team titles, when it's being done to build up to a match, I'm all for it. I think it's fine to do it every now and then. And certainly when John Cena held the title with Shawn Michaels leading up to Wrestlemania, that was perfectly acceptable. WWE hasn't really made a habit of doing that, so that's a positive. They've only done it every now and then. And it does add a little bit more credibility when you have the top stars with the tag team titles and the tag team titles are involved in a main event storyline. So it's definitely fine to do it every now and then. This one comes from HB Shizzle. Hey, Aaron, what are your thoughts about CM Punk's lawyers sending out the lawsuit against WWE for royalties in his likeness? Things seem to be getting worse with Punk's relationship with WWE, and I feel that him and WWE will never bury the hatchet. They will never, ever, ever get back together again. But seriously, though, I think that CM Punk will probably work things out with WWE if it's the right business move from both ends. I think that WWE will be open to working with CM Punk again, unless CM Punk pulls a Randy Savage and does some horrific thing that we don't know about, and Vince is absolutely hell-bent on not doing business with CM Punk. But I think that if there's money to be made from both ends, they'll work things out. Now, right now, I can see the situation from both ways. WWE feels that since CM Punk breached the contract and walked out on them, that they are not entitled to pay him royalties. But on the other hand, CM Punk feels that he owns the name. He was using the name CM Punk before WWE, and he should be getting his royalties if they're still using his likeness. So it's basically what a judge is going to decide and how far CM Punk's going to take it. But we've seen before. I mean, Sable sued the WWE. There have been plenty of times where performers have left the company on bad terms and took legal action against WWE. Jesse Ventura, he went after WWE for royalties. And he eventually ended up coming back as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean that CM Punk is not returning to WWE. Probably not going to happen in the near future. But certainly down the line, I think that when the two sides look at the future and look at the possibilities of being able to make money, they'll work things out and they'll put the past behind them. All right, this one comes from GodPC9909. Yo, Aaron, long-time watcher. Do you have any ideas for Sheamus to do something with his US title? He hasn't done much with it. Please answer in special episode 525. Well, it's not so much Sheamus having an idea with the US title as it is the creative team and WWE. And the fact of the matter is the US title is a mid-card title and nothing more. I do not see WWE changing plans with the US title and making it more important. I wish they would go back to the way it was before. The US title used to be a big deal. It used to be where you were the US champion and you were the #1 contender to the world title. And sadly, those days are long gone. And the US title is even beneath the IC title on the totem pole because the IC title is WWE's championship. US title is WCW and NWA. So it's unlikely that anything significant is going to happen with the U.S. title. And most likely it'll just continue to be a mid-card title that your mid-card acts fight over, and it gives them something to do for storyline purposes. And it's not really going to mean anything else beyond that, unfortunately. All right, this one comes from No804. Hi, Aaron. I read that WWE and Brock Lesnar have signed a new deal which will allow him to wrestle more pay-per-views. If this works out, do you think Brock Lesnar will stay champion until WrestleMania 31? Absolutely. I think that that is the long-term plan in WWE, and that's really the way it should be. And if it means having to pay Brock Lesnar more money for the extra appearances, then so be it. WWE booked the streak to end. They booked Brock Lesnar to win that. They booked Brock Lesnar to destroy John Cena at SummerSlam and win the title. So now they really cannot go back on that. They need to go all the way with this Brock Lesnar storyline. Brock Lesnar needs to dominate one person after another. He needs to beat all the top stars. And then at the same time, you're building up your Roman Reigns. You have him win the Royal Rumble, goes on to WrestleMania to beat Brock Lesnar and conquer the Beast. And you have your new superstar to hopefully carry the company for several years. And some people may feel Roman Reigns is not ready, that he's not good enough, but WWE really needs to try and build the next John Cena, because John Cena will not be around forever. As much as WWE would like to continue pushing him day in and day out, 24/7, eventually his body's going to break down on him, or he's mentally going to be done with it. So WWE needs to look to the future, and whether Roman Reigns is the right guy or not, they need to go with somebody. And the pieces are coming together here with WrestleMania coming up. Brock Lesnar and the right guy to beat him, whether it's Roman Reigns or not, you really have to just go with that and hope it works out. All right, this next one comes from JKin62. Do you think WWE should do a Rock versus Daniel Bryan match for WrestleMania 31? As much as I think that would be an entertaining match, I'm not sure that that's the match that The Rock would want. If he's going to invest in another comeback in WWE, I think he's going to want to be against the biggest star possible. He's going to want a match that is as much box office as John Cena. And as much as we all love Daniel Bryan, he's not quite the superstar on a mainstream level that John Cena is. And also, The Rock has also talked about this in interviews, how he wants to be against the top heel. He doesn't really want that babyface versus babyface dynamic. He wants to be against a monster heel. And originally, it was supposed to be Rock versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, and Rock was unable to do that because he got hurt and then his movie schedule filled up. So I think when you look at the possibilities for WrestleMania 31, Rock against a top-level heel who's a mainstream superstar, there's not really that many guys he can go against. Maybe Randy Orton, but then again, Randy Orton is not at John Cena's level of popularity. So I think the chances are that Rock doesn't do WrestleMania. Maybe he'll make an appearance. Maybe he'll show up, hit somebody with a rock bottom. But as far as him getting in the ring again, if it's not against Brock Lesnar, I think the odds are against him being in a match at WrestleMania. I just don't see him committing to something if it's not the absolute biggest match possible against the biggest heel in the company. All right, this one comes from Anti-Stress Kid. Hey Aaron, how long do you think Roman Reigns will last as the face of WWE when he does get the spot from John Cena? Well, I think WWE would want him to be the face as long as possible. I mean, WWE is known for taking a guy and milking that guy as long as they possibly can. We saw with Hulk Hogan, we saw with Bret Hart, and I'm sure WWE would continue to push Roman Reigns for as many years as his body would hold up. And that's the big question, how long Roman Reigns could stay healthy. That would be a major factor. With John Cena, he's a team player. He does everything WWE asks him to do. He comes to work every day with a smile on his face. He loves his job, and he is very quick to recover. He gets hurt. He gets hurt very rarely, and when he does, he comes back right away, and he works hurt, and he is a machine. John Cena, whether you like him or not, he is a machine. He goes out there and he really earns his paycheck every night that he performs. And if Roman Reigns can do that, if he can handle the hectic schedule, if he can stay positive, if he's a team player, he could last 5, even 10 years on top in WWE. So time will tell if he can handle the schedule that John Cena is able to endure on a weekly basis. All right, this one comes from WWE Portugal. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on PWG? A lot of people say it's very over the top, but I think it is very entertaining and always make a show where every wrestler is able to give us everything they've got. I have enjoyed PWG over the years. I used to go to their shows regularly from 2004 at the Sweatbox in Hollywood, the JCC. It was always like 100 degrees in that building, but PWG was always a very fun show, and the guys always went out there and gave it their best, and that's why PWG has such a strong reputation, because they bring in the best wrestlers on the indie circuit. Everybody from Daniel Bryan to CM Punk to Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, all these guys were in PWG over the years, and they always deliver great in-ring wrestling. So if that's your thing, if you like the great wrestling without all the soap opera storylines and a minimum amount of storylines, then PWG is definitely for you. And I would recommend taking somebody to PWG who's not really a fan of wrestling. I think that if you know somebody who thinks wrestling is fake, and that's one way that they knock it, they say that they're not real athletes, take them to a PWG show. I think that they would gain respect for professional wrestling if they went to one of those shows, because those guys really do give tremendous performances in the ring every show. My only criticism of PWG is just my criticism on indie wrestling in general is, to me personally, after a while, it became the same show every single time. And sometimes it is a bit too much when in your opening match, everybody's trying to have a Wrestlemania moment, doing the dives over the top. And, it does become overkill sometimes. But, from top to bottom, PWG's always been entertaining. So check it out if you haven't. I mean, it's definitely a very high-quality product. All right, this one comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass. Why does WWE think having Jerry Springer on Raw is good when going head-to-head with Monday Night Football? It's got a bad WCW taste to it, like thinking people would tune in to see Kiss over Stone Cold and The Rock. Just put their best product against the NFL's, like, come on. I really don't get it. I don't know if Vince McMahon feels that Jerry Springer is still relevant in 2014. Vince probably remembers the name Jerry Springer from 1999 when Jerry Springer was at his peak of popularity, and he feels, oh, everybody knows Jerry Springer. He's a hot act in television. Let's bring him to Monday Night Raw, not realizing that it's 2014, not 1999. That's just the way Vince is. I do feel that Vince is behind the times when it comes to pop culture, and clearly, Triple H didn't tell Vince, maybe this is not a good idea. I think it is a sign of desperation on their part, just like having that invitation to Michael Sam to come on Raw. Same situation where they're just trying to do whatever they can and trying to find an easy solution to keep the ratings up, rather than looking at the big problem, which is your very overproduced, highly scripted television product that is stale and needs a major tune-up because it's the same thing every single week, and people want change, and WWE is afraid to take risks like they used to. I mean, there was a Raw script that leaked from this past week, and I was just reading through it, and I was disgusted because they literally have every single little segment scripted, right from the promos to every little cue, every segment. It's just so overdone, in my opinion, and that's why the shows are so robotic, because it's the same. I'm sure the script is the same thing every week. It's the same format, and there's really no room for any kind of real creativity, and that's the major problem in WWE. And until they change that, It doesn't matter who you throw on Raw. It doesn't matter if you put Jerry Springer on there or Bob Barker or any of those guest hosts that they had. It's not going to make a difference. People are still going to tune out unless you give them a more compelling television product. And in order to do that, you have to take more risks and you have to open up a little bit and be more creative. So until they do that, they're gonna get destroyed in the ratings, and there's not much they're gonna be able to do about it. Having Jerry Springer on Raw is like trying to put a Band-Aid on this huge gash in your leg. It's just not gonna work. All right, this one comes from Master High Ram 2000. Hi Aaron, first time asker, long time watcher. Here's my question. We've seen in the last few months that WWE has been putting legends like Hogan, Flair, Michaels in segments with Cena. Do you see any legend being able to make him likable? People are going to like John Cena or they're not going to like John Cena. And that's definitely WWE's intention. They're trying to get people to cheer John Cena because he's being endorsed by the legends. And if Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair like John Cena, then the fans should like John Cena. But the fact is, going back to earlier, when you give people the same exact thing over and over again, they're going to get tired of it. They are going to want change. So you can try all you want to get people to cheer John Cena, and there will be people that cheer John Cena. There are people that like John Cena, and people are still buying his merchandise. That's why he's still on top in WWE, because there's still an audience that loves him and loves the whole hustle, loyalty, and respect. And there's always a new generation of kids that come along that will buy into John Cena. So as long as they can continue making money, they're not going to change. But they're always going to try. They're always going to try to make John Cena more likable with fans, but they're not going to change the character. That's the only thing they will not do. All right, that'll wrap it up for episode number 525 of No DQ&A video. Thank you guys again for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please share it on Facebook and Twitter if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time for episode number 526.